Hi, in this video on the Raspberry Pi using C++ and possibly Python, I want to focus on the actual use of the correct pins. Last time I found out, unfortunately, that I had the incorrect GPIO pin in the code. So what I did first after that is commenting that GPIO 18 is actually pin 12 and so forth, which I have done on the RPi1 as well. As you can see here. And then with some testing I changed the timing on the RPi2 to 8 seconds, and then because when with a longer time and then look at the circuit, you can determine what exactly happens and what does not happen. And then it turns out that if you have an input state of 0, which I use here to determine whether the switch is activated or not, and the switch is of course the signal from the RPi2, then it will be very handy to actually have an if statement for input state is 1. So I have added this, and let me start this code. And right now it will keep reading input state is 0, and I will restart control code. And as you can see here, I fully activated it, and I've put it all here with sleeping time after each setting change, here for the count control and here for the reverse count. And here you can see that now the result, let me stop it when it goes back to 1. We'll have to wait for a little bit, and here it goes. Here you can see the change from 0 into 1, and here you see that this input state is responding to the change of the input state. So what I have to do next is a lot more, because I have to determine how each LED is going to behave. So actually it's copying code and reversing the steps, but it has to happen. And when done that, Something else was actually also effect by doubling the sleeping time here. I could actually see that the control wasn't acting as well as I thought it was, because with go, which is here, it stopped, and that was not supposed to do. So I will have to look into that as well, but in the meantime some code has to be here, and that will be in the reverse sequence. So first this one, and then that, etc, etc, and then of course starting with this part as well. So that is what remains in this section. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I copied the final three LED changes from the other input state, and I put them in the reverse order, and when I first tried, that should be working. So let's see how that works out. Here it goes into the reverse, but as you can see, I'll enlarge this window. As you can see, while input state is 0, it actually switches the LEDs, the LEDs, but as soon as input state changes to 1, let's see, switched. It says that it switches everything, but I doubt that it happens, because what I see here is something different than here. And if you see 010, 010, 010, so that doesn't change, and obviously that should change. So here the code is still running, so let's run it again. Keep a close look at it. Right now it's counting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I do not see any reverse counting, so it was at 7 and it goes on to 1 instead of going back to 5. So obviously there is some code missing here, which it has in the input state 0 code part. So some things have to be changed and added in this part before it's working. And I will try to do that right now. Okay, I changed some code here, which I copied from the input state 0. Let's see how the behavior is right now. And it still doesn't show the same way as the input state 0 part. So more has to be changed, and I think I will let that for the next time. Conclusion for now is that the GPIO control works not quite as I intended, because where it stops it only pauses for some time, and of course that has everything to do with the timing I have set here, but even then it is not working as I thought. And of course if you put an input state to 1, you have to put code there. And as long as this part for state 1 is not the same as for state 0, something is amiss. But that is for next time. So thank you for watching, and certainly to be continued.